what are 3 key mindfulness practices that you can apply to transform hatefulness? One of the things to think about is that we all experience hate. We all have experienced criticism, judgment, bad experiences with others, whether that's in our own mind towards ourselves or if we felt that towards other people. And oftentimes what we'll experience is a reaction. So as soon as we are presented with hatefulness or abuse or injustice, a natural reaction is to be hard and hateful back, to push back, to resist. And it's natural that that happens. And meditation shows us that that's a natural response. We have been conditioned to respond that way, to respond quickly. And one of the beautiful things about meditation is this ability to really sit and be with everything that's uncomfortable, with everything we don't like, with the things that we don't want to really look at, that we might want to deny or not own within ourselves. So the first most powerful practice is to look at the nature of hate within yourself through meditation, to really go inside and to see where that comes from. Because the truth is that people who hate suffer. They suffer. They're in pain themselves. And when you look underneath that pain and that suffering, that's where you start to find the opportunity for healing and higher resolution. And what we're facing today is a lot of denial of that pain and suffering. So what happens when we deny our own pain is that we'll project it out there. We'll say, you are the source of my pain. You need to change. You need to do, and we start directing our focus outward when really our focus should be inward. So to master this in situations where this comes up, we need to look at that within ourselves. When do those feelings of hatefulness and resistance and judgment and criticism, when do those inner violent thoughts arise within our own being? And to not even judge ourselves for that. So meditation even shows us to not judge ourselves, to look at that with a level of compassionate awareness, a level of humanness, that we experience that. And when we can look at it that way and go deeper into it, not be afraid of those feelings within ourselves, then we start to feel more and more comfortable with those darker emotions. And whatever we feel comfortable with within ourselves, that we have taken time to become intimate with, we're going to feel comfortable when we see other people doing it, because we're all connected. We all come from the same world. And that resource of inner knowing is what's really going to empower you when you're faced in these situations, when you face negative reactions, negative responses, difficult emotions, and that there's nothing wrong with these darker emotions. The only thing that's wrong is that we don't look at them. We don't take time with it. We don't sit with it and breathe with it. Because if we can fully breathe with it and be present with whatever we feel, the hatefulness and the pain and the suffering, and we remove the denial, then that's where the rich transformation starts to occur. And the second way that meditation can help us with hate is that it helps us open our perspective. Meditation gets us out of our own mind It gets us out of our own head. And when we can get out of our own head, guess what we can do? We can actually start putting ourselves in someone else's shoes. You could say, look, I'm willing to really look where you came from to make you this way, so I can understand where you're coming from. There is a sincere, genuine interest to go out of yourself and to now start entering the hearts of others. To really genuinely want to know that intention. So meditation helps us expand our perspective. It helps us to connect empathetically with other people. And that's the third way that meditation helps us to transform hate, is that it opens us to compassion. And compassion, if you've ever felt this inner state, which is an amazing state to feel, is very deeply empowering and peaceful when you're willing to experience compassion. And compassion isn't taking pity on someone or seeing someone as less than, but it's the willingness to really acknowledge another human being, no matter where they come from or who they are or what status they may have, that you're willing to connect with them, human to human, heart to heart, and be present to who they are, and to acknowledge fully someone else's path and someone else's perspective, because we're not able to resolve or heal situations when we close down and we shut people down or we shut ourselves down. Meditation is our ability to be intimate and present with all that is, And when we start to tap into that sense of equanimity within ourselves, that becomes deeply empowering. We're no longer charged. We no longer take that hate personally. We know that hate comes from suffering. So now we're willing to have a different approach. And when our hearts are truly open and that intention to heal is really there, other people will feel it and they'll know it. And right now, the key is to be a spiritual warrior, to be strong and to stand up, to speak the truth, to not back down. And we need more people like this at this time who are willing to be fully present, not just with themselves, but other people. So one of the most beautiful practices that you can get in touch with is loving kindness meditation. Loving kindness meditation is a meditation of compassion and friendliness towards all living beings. All living beings. Because can you have true peace if you deny the peace of even one person? If you don't wish peace for even one person, can you have true peace? So just think about this and how through meditation we start to understand the interconnectedness of life, that someone else's salvation is also your own. Someone else's freedom is your own. And freedom represents many different things. But in metta meditation, just to get back to that, here's a short phrase, an example of that meditation. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. When we have that compassion, that level of compassion, then we are tapped in to a place that allows us to truly elevate and resolve hateful situations, negative emotions, negative circumstances, because we experience that compassion not just towards other people, but towards ourselves, because we know what it's like to suffer, and we know what it's like to feel that.